Good morning. It's your baby boomer Kitty Lane from the Peninsula in Virginia. Do I look surprised? Because I just recorded half my video and realized I didn't press play or record. Oh, wow. So let's try this again. Good morning. It's your baby boomer Kitty Lane from the Peninsula in Virginia. And welcome to another Create and Relate. When I tell y'all I recorded half my video and I did not press record, and I kept wondering why the timestamp wasn't at the top, because I was like, I should be about 15 minutes in. Why is there no time? So I clicked the button, called myself gonna pause it. And I started it. Okay, let's go from beginning to end. Number one, 245 subscribers. You guys are amazing, and I am so thankful for you. I do ask that when you pop in, please hit those thumbs. Please leave comments. I will read all comments. Sometimes it might take me a day or two or a few, but I do read all comments and I do respond to all comments. Anybody who's left a comment can tell you, yes, she does. Also, if you know people who are interested in this kind of content, encourage them to subscribe. Share my channel. And when you subscribe and you see that little bell, make sure you hit the one with the dimples so that you'll always know when I'm dropping fresh content. Okay? Now that we got that out the way, I'm going to be smiling a lot more, and I do that, I noticed, every time I get my teeth clean. And it's amazing because my tech always tells me, she's like, I'm amazed that you drink coffee and you smoke. She said, first of all, your breath never smells like you smoke. And I always get that cigarette in just before I go in their office. And I don't chew gum, and I don't do... I think it's because, number one, I'm not a chain smoker. I'm not what you consider a heavy smoker. I'm more of... I'm more of an emotional smoker. I can sit here for hours and hours and sometimes days and have no desire for a cigarette. But when I'm going through something, yeah, the activity definitely picks up. So, the dental appointment went well. I go back in 6 months and get them clean again. She was so impressed, though. She was like, I have to do something because your insurance is going to pay for it. And she put the fluoride up there, and she was like, that only shows me plaque that was missed, and there's like none there, so we're going to pretend, okay? But I was like, wow, you'd have to understand the backstory to all of that. One day I'll tell you, but it won't be today, unless I have time at the end of everything else I have to share. The washcloth challenge is still going on. I did manage to complete one washcloth yesterday. I completed another one this morning, but I've already thrown it over in the mix with the other one. I only did one yesterday because of me falling off the scooter when I got home. Anytime I go to the doctor, one, or something traumatic, my body's response when I get home and relax is to go to sleep. So I sat in my chair and I slept a lot yesterday. So last night I finally got up after I got one certain phone call. I'll tell you about that later too. And yes, it makes me smile. And I'm sure if y'all had gotten a phone call I got, you would have smiled too. I'm telling you guys, that phone call did my heart all the good in the world. That phone call did me all the good in the world, and I feel so blessed and so thankful. Back to you on that. So I went to the doctor this morning, and I went to her with 4 major concerns. Because of all of the emotional stuff that's going on in my life. I didn't want to, but I needed the permission in case something happened, and I might need to increase my dosage of my anxiety meds. And she said that it would be fine, like for a day or two. But if I continued beyond that, then I would have to be weaned back. So I was like, cool. No extra anxiety meds. Number 2, my insurance company said that you never sent a request in for me to have the surgery. So she politely swung her chair around and she was like, look. And she showed me where she had sent the request in. I was like, okay, I'm just telling you what they said. They also said that maybe you send it to the other insurance company, because I have 2. I have 3 technically. Medicare, my Advantage plan, and Medicaid. So, yeah, go back to the the dentist in 6 months. So, I said, so they're helping me to find a surgeon who will perform the surgery and who takes the insurance. And she says, okay. In the meantime, bam! This is what we have for you. They found the search. I don't think you all know what this means, guys. At this point, I have a big fight to go through, because generally when you go to these types of surgeons, the first thing they think is weight loss, and the first thing they say is, I need you to lose 50 to 100 pounds. You need to count what I've already lost. Because I'm not starving myself anymore. And I can't get around and do what I need to do, because this is cutting off the circulation to my legs, causing pain. So you do the math, go home and pray over it, and when you come back, I'll be laid up on one of the little uncomfortable tables in that freezing room with the big bright light, looking like I'm in heaven, and ready for you to take this off. That's the game we're going to play today. The consumer will get her way, because the consumer wants to live. I like living. I do. And I want to live pain-free. I do. The other thing we talked about was the issue that I have digestively. Every time I eat, I get a pain in my belly right here. And it's so excruciating sometimes that the pain radiates to the point that I feel like I'm chewing on aluminum foil. When I was a kid, I used to. That's how I know how it feels. And it's this certain, it feels like you're being electrocuted in your jaws. It's like, I don't know if anybody's ever been shocked, but I have touched enough frayed cords in my life that I know what that that feels like. And that's how it feels when this hurts. My arms get heavy. Usually I'm sitting down. If I'm not sitting down, I'm headed for the bed, because the only thing I know that takes the pain away is sleep. And it's got to be more than 20 minutes of sleep. So we talked about that, and my daughter had been doing research on it and came across the possibility of her mom having Mal's disease, M-A-L disease. So I forget what that's the acronym for. If I find it, I'll drop that information in the description box. So what happens is there's a nerve in your stomach that just doesn't function properly. And it's scary because my sister, when my nephew was describing my sister's pains before she passed, it was the same thing. She was, and you can't say, you're trying to take on your sisters. I don't know if you remember, but I found my siblings 7 years ago. And in the beginning, everybody welcomed me with open arms. The only one I stay in close contact with now is one of my nephews. And other than that, they were like, let's meet. Okay, we see you. I felt like a discarded Christmas gift. I felt like that Christmas toy they played with on Christmas Day. It went sliding under the bed and they left it there. So it's not like but don't get me wrong. I had always desired a close relationship with my siblings. Growing up all my life without siblings was lonely. My mom did everything she could to fill in for that loneliness, but it was still lonely, not to have anybody around my age that I could look up to or that I could be a role model for, and it took a lot away. It took a lot away. But when I found out they existed, I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all, I was happier than a pea in a pod. I was some kind of happy. I really was. Crying, snotting, saliva, and all that. Because I found my siblings. So, her cause of death was listed as bowel obstruction. So, not wanting to go down that road and really wanting to get better. We're trying to. She's testing me for Myers disease and for celiacitis. I think that's what it is, but we did the blood work for that today. And I think that was it. Excuse me, as far as the doctor was concerned. 13 minutes now. Let me tell you about my dental history. When I was a little girl, I didn't have a problem going to the dentist. I was real good. When I became an adult, like close to 30, I went to a dentist. Well, let's go back a little bit. When I was in my late 20s, I'll say back around 1990. The guy that I was dealing with dealt with illegal substances. And putting it out here. He was into illegal substances. The person that he owed money to couldn't get to him, so I caught the beat down with a firearm to my face, losing the majority of my back teeth. Those that hung on were in line for root canal or extraction. And I didn't really believe in root canal because I heard all the problems that people had with them. So the ones that remained were extracted. No teeth. No teeth. I have 2 back here and 1 here. But I still have a gorgeous smile. You better put your sunglasses on because I'm beaming. Okay, so at any rate, ooh, I forgot. I had to bring my scissors back, and I have no pockets. So I went to the dentist that was covered by my insurance in the city that I used to live in. And this gum bone up here, he had to break it to get the tooth out, because most of your roots are like this. You know, they come together in the 4 little prongs, where mine were like that. They were all spread out. Instead of trying to push the bone back in place, he left it out. So for the longest time I talked really funny because I felt everything scraping up here when I talked. I used to sleep on that side to help try to push it back in. I would walk around for hours like this trying to push it back in. But it made me afraid of dentists. It made me fear dentists. It made me have a phobia against dentists. So when I went to meet this dentist a couple of years ago, I went to him in all honesty. I said, I need to let you know now, I'm a 2-year-old in your chair. I don't like dentists. I don't. And they were like, well, oh my God, when is the last time you've had your teeth cleaned? And I'm like, I brush them. So when I went in for the first teeth cleaning, Kathy says to me, are you sure it's been over 10 years since you? I'm like, and feel real bad about it. She was like, baby, your teeth look good. Like, thank you. I took all of that in as a sign to say, get it together and pay more attention to your oral health. So it makes me feel good when I go in there for my 6-month cleaning and she tells me that I've done a really good job with my home care because she really doesn't have anything to do. That really means a lot because I know that the invisible plaque can build up without it being noticeable, you know. And to go to her and yeah, it's a good thing. It's a good feeling. The other thing was the phone call. So it took me a long time to tell you guys exactly what happened with me in the scooter accident yesterday, because I knew that I had to tell my family first. If they had found out I'm sorry, we have jets. I live close to an air station. If they had found out through YouTube, and they do watch my channels, I'd have been sitting in the police precinct right now being interrogated by the both of them. That's how my girls are. So to avoid all of that, I told them first, and then I shared that with you guys. So with me telling you all, and you know, I posted the details and everything in my video last night, this very, 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 very dear to my heart sweet lady reached out and called me last night, which leads me to something else that I did not show you all. So I think I did show you all I won one of her giveaways, and I did not show you all the bag. Isn't this beautiful? I won this in Miss C's cottage. And guys, she called me last night, and it meant the world to me. Am I grinning from ear to ear? Yes. Am I acting like it's an uncontrollable grin? Yeah, the only thing I don't like about getting my teeth cleaned is that I drool a lot. It's like I'm talking like I don't want anything to touch my teeth, so I'm not blocking anything. And I'm like, constantly. But yes, Mama C called me last night, and it really, really, really made my night. I love you, Mama C, and thank you so much. Thank you so much for that phone call. It did my heart all the good in the world. My daughter saw me this morning before I left to go to the doctor, and she was like, in the dark, she's like, you still smiling? You sure that was Miss C? I'm positive. She goes, I know it, Mama. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I was really happy for that, and it really made me feel good. It was a boost that I needed with everything that's going on around me right now, and especially with my health. But I'm so happy that I'm just waiting to hear from the surgeon to see when I can come in for the consultation. I have an appointment Monday to find out what's going on with my gut health. I go back to see my doctor on the 27th. Yeah, just a whole lot of good going on. I get to jump back on my washcloths today and get as many of those done as possible. I completed like a fourth of one while I was at the doctor's office. So, yeah, I'm back on my grind. And I will be getting her done. I will. In the meantime, in between time, please don't forget, excuse me, when you walk past that mirror, to look yourself dead in the eye and say, you are gorgeous. You are absolutely stunning. And then step back and say, hey girl, or hey boy, whichever, it doesn't matter. Or sup dude, however you choose to do it. Give yourself accolades for being so beautiful. Love you. Love on you. Love on you, bunches and bunches and bunches and bunches. Because you know that is the greatest love of all. And as I always say, remember that I love you too. So until we meet again, peace, guys.